Still, why are India's children, women and children, still iron deficient and anemic?
Eating the food is not similar as absorbing the food.
Right.
So the pulses and the cereals that we eat also contains a lot of anti-nutrients. So these anti-nutrients hinder the absorption of certain vitamins and minerals in our body. So because of this, what happens is that if our food contains 100% of iron, but because of this anti-nutrients, only 50% of iron is available for the body to take.
In India, we use all these oils that you spoke about. Now, in the West, they talk a lot about olive oil.
Yeah.
How does olive oil smoking point compare with the Indian oils? And what is the difference?
So the smoking point of olive oil is really low. So olive oils, which they call as extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin.
Yeah. So that's cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. That's not ideal for cooking. So BWP as a company, we want to deliver quality products consistently at all the times. That's our major vision. We deliver with consistency and we deliver with perfection.
Hello and welcome to Pune Times Mirror's one-of-a-kind, thought-provoking series, Mirrored on Mirror, where we shine a light upon issues that make sense. In today's episode, we will delve into the fascinating realm of nutraceutical life sciences. We are joined by a very special guest, Vasundhara, who's a nutritionist from BWP Biotics Lifesciences Pvt Limited. Welcome to the show, Vasundhara. It's a pleasure to have you with us. I'm your host, Prince Chaudhary. Let's get started.
Thank you for having me over here.
Okay. Pleasure, ma'am. So, starting with let's talk about our staple diets, right? Let's talk about roti. Let's talk about dal, vegetables, even fortified rice. Every day we are consuming this all over the country, all over the world, in fact. But still, why are India's children, women and children, still iron deficient and anemic?
Yeah.
And what exactly is going wrong in the food system?
Yeah. So we need to understand eating the food is not similar as absorbing the food.
Right.
So the pulses and the cereals that we eat also contains a lot of anti-nutrients. So,
Anti-nutrients?
Yes.
Okay.
So these anti-nutrients hinder the absorption of certain vitamins and minerals in our body. So because of this, what happens is that if our food contains 100% of iron, but because of this anti-nutrients, only 50% of iron is available for the body to take.
Right.
Yeah. But it also depends upon one's body that out of that available 50% of iron, how much the body is going to consume.
Correct.
Yeah. So basically, the anti-nutrients hinder the absorption of these nutrients, and that's why these nutrients are less bioavailable when it is taken into the body. We need to understand that even if we are eating a complete plate of a meal, it does not provide you with complete nutrition because that's decided in what you consume and then what is absorbed. So that's exactly at BWP we are trying to address the issue, that is the bioavailability, as in what amount of nutrition your body is absorbing or is absorbable. So that is the bridge that we are trying to bridge at BWP, where we want to overcome this and provide as much as nutrition to the people and overcome these deficiencies like anemia and iron deficiency.
So once you have processed these staple foods, what percentage of that would really be absorbed by the body?
So ideally, if we go by theory, it is said that whatever we consume, 60 to 70% of the food is absorbable or bioavailable to our body.
Right.
But now that we see that our lifestyles are changing,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of pesticides, the quality of the soil is also degrading, the quantity and the amount of nutrients in the food are also degrading.
Absolutely.
And plus the pollution, the water quality and etc. are increasing the inflammation in our body.
Right.
So our bodies are not in a state where they absorb maximum level of nutrition.
Right.
So even if you think that you're eating a healthy plate of meal, you don't know exactly how much your body is absorbing.
Right.
Yeah.
So what appears healthy
Yes.
may not be completely healthy.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It is healthy though, but we cannot guarantee that we are getting complete nutrition out of that healthy food.
What the body actually requires.
Yes.
Okay, so a question just pops up in my mind. Does overcooking, vegetable diets, food, staple foods, does it affect the nutritional value of the food?
Yes, that it does. So overcooking, basically, vitamins, they're heat sensitive. So
Correct.
they, if you overcook your vegetables, obviously you will again lose the vitamins, and you are thinking that you are eating a leafy vegetable, or you are eating a certain vegetable to get a certain nutrient,
Right.
but you have cooked it to such an extent that the nutrition is lost, and it's just in your imagination that you are eating it.
Because it appears healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's, since you're talking about food and vegetable foods and all that. So what about oil? Olive oil, bran rice oil, whatever, and there's sunflower oil, and then we have what is that other oil is there? So these various oils, what effect do they have on these kind of foods' nutritional value?
Okay, so
Like
oil,
mustard oil also, for
yeah,
example.
mustard oil, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what happens is, oils also have certain categories, and there's one particular aspect of oil that is very essential for us when we select oils, is
Right.
the smoking point of the oil.
Smoking point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when you put oil into a pan and then you heat the oil, so certain different oils have different temperatures when they release the smoke.
Absolutely.
So if you
Absolutely.
put ghee into a pan and the smoke releases very easily, that's what is the smoking point. So
Okay.
smoking point is when the fatty acid starts degrading in your oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to always select a oil which has a higher smoking point.
Okay. Okay.
Now take rice bran oil.
Rice bran.
Rice bran oil is glorified a lot.
Correct.
Yeah, but why is it? Because rice bran has something called as oryzanol. That
Right.
is a antioxidant.
Antioxidant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And usually your other cereals and pulses that you eat, like your roti, atta, dal, chawal, etc., these have something called as PUFAs in it.
Okay.
Polyunsaturated fatty acids.
Okay.
Yeah. What usually PUFAs are related to as pro-inflammatory. So
Okay.
they increase inflammation in your body. So if you select a oil which is anti-inflammatory, which has high amounts of MUFA, which
Okay.
is monounsaturated fatty acids, then you balance the PUFA and MUFA ratio in your diet,
Okay.
and that's how you're going to achieve a healthier and balanced diet.
Absolutely.
So that's how you select which oil should go in certain. So you, like you mentioned, mustard oil, rice bran oil, your age old groundnut oil, these are very high in MUFAs. So these are very good oils for cooking instead of a sunflower oil, because
Okay.
sunflower oil is extracted from a seed. So
Right.
it already has PUFAs in it.
Right.
And other cereals and pulses also has PUFAs in it. So you're
Okay.
increasing inflammation because it's a pro-inflammatory oil.
Correct. Now, in India, we use all these oils that you spoke about. Now, in the West, they talk a lot about olive oil.
Yeah.
So, how does olive oil smoking point compare with the Indian oils, and what is the difference?
So the smoking point of olive oil is really, really low. So olive oils, which they call as extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin.
Yeah. So
Cold
that's
pressed.
cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. That's not ideal for cooking.
Oh, it's not ideal.
Yeah. It should be eaten raw, or it should be eaten into salad dressings.
Salad dressings.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the ideal way of consuming olive oil. That's when it's going to give you right nutrition and right amount of fats that is
Correct.
required for your
Correct.
body. If you're using olive oil for cooking, again you're degrading the fat, because
Right.
the smoking point is low, and once you heat it, it starts degrading.
Right.
It starts converting into saturated fatty acids.
Absolutely.
And the cholesterol issues.
Correct. So, in today's age, people pop a lot of supplements,
Yeah.
to balance their nutritional value, and our everyday food still lacks strength. So, do you think these supplements are really necessary to have along with our food, or are they not going to create any kind of nutritional value for the food?
Yeah. So let me talk psychologically. So since ages, capsules, syrups, tablets, all these form factors, we look at it as medicines.
Correct.
So when we are sick or when we are ill, so that's when we pop a pill or pop a tablet.
Absolutely.
Now, when you look at these supplements, the form factor of these supplements is again like syrups, capsules, powders, etc. So,
Right.
and human mind is such a lethal mind that, we
Absolutely.
start manifesting so easily.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What happens is, when you start consuming these pills and capsules over a period of time, psychologically you start thinking that, somewhere your body is not in a healthy state of mind, or you are ill.
Right.
Yeah, because you're popping pills
Correct.
every now and then.
Right.
That's how you build your psychology over a period of time, if you start popping in supplements.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly where we wanted to create a difference, that we did not want to add on to what is still going on in the market, because a
Right.
lot of supplement industries are coming up.
Absolutely.
So we did not want to add on to it.
Okay.
So we wanted to step aside and give nutrition to the people in whatever they're already eating.
So BWP Biotics, when you process the food, the staple diets, do you think along with that, once people have that, do you think along with that, these supplements are really necessary?
So if you look at it, when we ideate a product or identify any hidden hunger is something, it's pertinent, it's there, but it's not visible to everyone.
Right.
Or nutritional gaps that we
Right.
spoke about, as in certain deficiencies.
Right.
So when you consume a supplement, what happens is, to overcome that deficiency, you consume a supplement for a certain duration. That's the ideal mindset.
Right.
After that certain duration, you stop consuming that supplement. What happens is, whatever period you consume the supplement for, your liver, your body stores it.
Oh.
And then after that, if you go back to your regular routine, where you're not eating the food that you're deficient, like the nutrients that you're deficient in,
Absolutely.
that foods, if you're not consuming in your daily diet, again your body will start using the stores from which it is stored. So once the
Okay.
stores are getting depleted, your body is again going to the deficient state.
Right.
Then
Right.
then there's a need of supplement again.
Right.
So, instead of doing that over and over again,
Right.
so what we wanted to do is, your everyday staple, like your dal, or, these days, a lot of people love consuming pasta.
correct.
Your everyday food, your comfort food, your conventional food.
Right.
How do we provide nutrition? How do we overcome these deficiencies, these gaps, through your everyday food?
Right.
That was the goal.
Okay. But Indians don't really. I mean, pasta is normally an Italian food, and it's. But there are people who are now turning towards pasta also. So people today prefer not eating traditional meals at times, the ones that we spoke about.
Yeah.
They want pasta, just like you mentioned. It's a convenience food and comfort meal. So how do we make these modern choices actually good for our health? How do we balance these foreign, originated kind of diets along with our staple diet that we've had here for, centuries?
Okay. So now let's take the example of our product, that is the ragi pasta that we make. Ragi is like an ancient Indian grain, a millet.
Right.
And, in 2023, Government of India declared the year as a millet year.
Oh.
So, millets are so healthy, and it's gluten-free naturally, because a lot of people are opting for gluten-free diets. And in general, because of this increased inflammation, our bodies are not able to digest gluten.
Right.
Gluten again leads to inflammation. So people are opting for avoiding gluten also in their diet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the thought came in, that pastas are usually made up of maida or semolina. Semolina again is a source of gluten.
Right.
So why not change this? Why
Right.
not change this comfort food for people? Or why not make this comfort food a healthy form factor?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's where the thought process came in, where we combined ragi, the ancient millet, and a pulse, that is chickpea. We
Okay.
combined those, and we made it into pasta.
Okay.
So that's how, your comfort food, we tried to redefine it for you, for
Absolutely.
you to have it in a much more better way, healthier way.
Right.
And this will obviously not give you sugar spikes, because your conventional pasta
Right.
is made up of only carbohydrates, only semolina, so that
Right.
will give you constant sugar spikes.
Sugar spikes.
Then it certain people will have limitations to consume it, for example diabetics. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Okay. So gluten, this word gluten has recently come by. I know in our earlier past, gluten was never an issue.
yeah,
So
yeah,
people say that if you consume gluten comes out of wheat, right?
yeah, it comes out
So
of
they
it.
say that if you consume wheat related products like rotis and chapatis and all that, the gluten factor comes into play. What exactly does gluten do? I mean, how harmful is it?
Okay, so gluten is actually not harmful if we look at it. So it's like it's a protein. It's a protein which is found in wheat.
Okay.
It's found in wheat. So what happens is, when we make roti, we can roll it out so easily because of its elasticity. That
Correct.
elasticity we get from gluten.
Oh.
Yeah. So what happened is, there's a disorder named as celiac disorder.
Okay.
So where your body does not have enough enzymes or proteins, your
Okay.
body only doesn't produce proteins to digest this gluten.
Oh.
That's why these people are allergic to gluten.
Okay.
But over a period of time, with the shift in your gut microbiome, like, we talk a lot about probiotics, gut health, and everything. With
Absolutely.
a shift in that, with
Right.
this increased inflammation, the gut microbiota is also changing. And hence, eating gluten is causing bloating or is causing inflammation in your body.
Okay.
So you feel bloated, you feel inflamed, like, you feel that you are not eating enough, but still you feel like your body is getting swollen, or
Okay.
you're increasing by weight, but there's no evident factor. That's because of the inflammation in your body.
Right.
So gluten was related to that.
Okay.
So people were consciously making a shift to gluten free products.
Okay. 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 So we spoke about pasta, and the modern choices actually good for our health. So how do you actually do it? How do you turn normal dal into something more absorbable that we spoke about, and pasta into something clinically low GI? Yeah. So why is BWP choosing to fix the food instead of creating more supplements?
Okay. So supplements that we spoke, because
Correct.
it's the psychology, because eventually will start feeling that, there's something wrong with our body, that's why we are consuming these supplements.
Absolutely.
That's where the thought came in, that instead of, bringing up more supplements again, or adding up to the supplement industry that is already, we can go ahead and reinvent the traditional, the conventional, the comfort food that people are eating.
Correct.
Because there's no rocket science, or there's no anything different than what you do. Like,
Absolutely.
dal is the same dal which you cook however the way you want to cook.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Pasta is the same pasta however you want to eat, like
Absolutely.
red sauce, white sauce, or
Correct.
dal, maybe, any recipe out of dal. So there's no rocket science in cooking those food. So
Right.
people don't have to think a lot about, how do I consume this.
Right.
Yeah. Does it have any side effects on my body?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the psychological factors are taken care of.
Right.
So when a person is looking at a food, they're thinking, oh, this is food, this is going to nourish me. So your psychology, the thought that you're eating the food with, also matters a lot.
Absolutely.
So when you're eating the food, and if your food is giving you that nourishment which
Okay.
you try to overcome, so that's when, a real deficiency, or where we try to overcome.
Right.
Now when we come to dal, so dal, this is a very unique process that we have come up with in our laboratory. So here we try to reduce the anti-nutrients present in the dal.
The anti-nutrients.
Yeah. Remember earlier I spoke about the anti-nutrients which hinders the absorption of vitamins and
Absolutely.
minerals.
Correct.
So we try and reduce that, because we cannot eliminate that, because eliminating that is changing the form factor of dal, your regular dal.
Absolutely.
So without changing the form factor, we are just reducing it. and then adding on to the nutrients that helps in overcoming anemia or iron deficiency, like iron, zinc, folic acid, vitamin B12. So these are the nutrients that are being added on to the dal,
Right.
and that's when the product is formed. So when you look at it, when you look the forte dal, that is enriched dal that we prepare, and your regular dal, it's appearance wise it's the same.
Same. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. So that's the difference
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Okay. So what shocking nutritional truth did you discover that made you say we need a company like BWP Biotics?
Okay.
We already discussed part of it, but I'm sure there must be something else that you would like our viewers to know.
Yeah. So the pasta and the dal is for someone that who can eat. So the BWP company was formed because there was one pertinent issue, like people who are on rice tube feeding in hospitals. Uh, there was a lot of malnutrition, there was a lot of nutrient deficiencies in them as well.
Okay.
Because they are bedridden, their recovery is completely through nutrition and through medicines.
Right.
So giving them the right nutrition and making sure that the nutrition is bioavailable to them. So the issue is the bioavailability. That's where the thought came in, and that's when we decided that we need to change the form factor of the supplements. So we need to make the form factor like the staple food that we are eating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that's consumed
Yeah.
large quantities throughout the nation. Absolutely. Okay. So can you walk us through the journey of product development of BWP Biotics?
Okay.
From when it started, what all research that you all did to reach this stage?
So the company started roughly in 2021. So the directors of the company, they had a thought, and that's when they decided to come up with this company, and they you know like-minded people came in together, and we are a company of approx 25 people. So there are a lot of biotechnologists, medical biotechnologists, formulation specialists, nutritionists like me. So we come together, we identify these pertinent gaps in the market.
Absolutely.
We decide the form factor of those, and then we come up with a product that is the staple food again.
Okay.
And there's a framework that we have come up with, and that's what we stick to, and that's what we want to follow.
Right.
It's named as Annapurna. Yeah. So Annapurna, A stands for agility, like agile, being flexible.
Right.
N stands for nuaturient.
Okay.
So it's flexibility and it's versatility.
Okay.
And then N stand for nous.
Okay.
Because it's common, like nous is common sense, like common to all the people.
Right.
And again A for adaptability.
Okay.
Yeah. And Purna is again the processing of it, the verification validation of it. Yeah. The scalability of it, and again the resources of it. So these are the rough frameworks, like we've come up with that, so we stick to
Very
that.
well thought of, actually. Yeah, correct. Okay. Okay, so that is one part of it. What is BWP Biotics really trying to change? Is it just about making products, or about changing how India nourishes itself? And another question pops up is, what are the other kinds of food involved in this besides dal and pasta?
Okay. So with BWP, what we want to achieve is we want to overcome these deficiencies, or we want to bring a shift in the nutrition that we are consuming through our regular staple.
Right.
So regular staple is the go-to.
Okay.
Yeah. And apart from this forte dal and pasta. So there are a lot of other products that we are working on, which are take about the artifeed, about the nutrition that we are going to provide to the people who are through tube feeding.
Okay.
Uh,
Which happens in hospitals.
Yes, which
Okay.
happens in the hospitals basically.
Right.
Then through Fortidal, we want to make sure that every public distribution system or every midday meal scheme across the country,
Right.
we want to nourish each and every children or each and every family
Right.
and overcome these deficiencies. There are certain other medical devices and a concept where we want to help people eat healthy, and rather m- the healthy that they are going to eat is bioavailable to them
Right.
through a system. The system is being designed where we will be consulting people for their nutritional needs.
Okay.
We will be providing them a complete end-to-end support from
Right.
grocery,
Okay.
and if they don't want to cook, ready to eat meals.
Or
So
even ready to eat.
yeah,
meals.
ready to
Oh,
eat meals, and a lot of agro products as well.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What inspired the creation of BWP Biotics, and what unmet needs in India's nutrition landscape are you trying to solve? Have I asked you this question before, or is it a repetition? I probably think it is.
It is a repetition, I guess, but let me answer that. The unmet needs that because in India we already have fortified rice, we already have fortified atta.
Okay.
So these were designed to overcome these deficiencies.
Okay.
But still, these deficiencies are being persistent, and they are evident enough that almost over 50% of Indian women and children are anemic and iron deficient.
50%.
Over 50%.
Over 50%.
Yeah. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to address it through dal, obviously, because 9 in 10 Indians are protein deficient as well.
Absolutely.
So protein deficiency and micronutrient deficiency, it was like a two-edged sword for us. So we
Right.
wanted to address that. And pulses were something which is consumed across the whole India, because a lot of Indians are vegetarian. So
Absolutely.
vegetarians look pulses as their protein source.
Absolutely.
So that's when we decided that we need to target this, we need to target pulses and overcome this.
Correct.
Each and every pulse of ours is coated with nutrients.
Oh, okay.
And so the nutrients is available across each and every grain, and that's when you consume it, it's available to you in abundant quantity so that it's bioavailable for your body.
Absolutely.
Compared to fortified rice, like 99 grains of normal rice would contain 1 grain of fortified rice. So, the bioavailability or the availability of the nutrient in a fortified rice is way lesser than what we are trying to achieve. So, we identified this problem in the fortified rice which existed. That's what we wanted to overcome. And
Okay.
we made sure that every pulse of ours is coated with the nutrients.
So this fortification, I've heard this word several times. What exactly does it mean? What does it do when you say this rice is fortified?
Okay. So what happens is when there's a certain nutrient deficiency,
Okay.
and it's so rampant that it's spread across the whole nation or whole country,
Right.
it becomes a public issue, it becomes a government problem to solve.
Right.
That's when the government decides, like the public health sector decides to come up with something to address this issue on a national level.
Right.
So they cannot come up with a supplement, they cannot come up with a tablet, because the lower socioeconomic strata doesn't afford it. And they are not that consistent enough with their medical care. So they
Absolutely.
just avoid it because they want to save money.
Correct.
So the government decided to do it with the regular staples:
Okay.
rice, salt,
Okay.
and atta.
Okay.
And usually rice and salt are distributed through ration schemes as well.
Absolutely. Yes.
So where people across the whole country will
Accessible.
be
Yeah.
they will have the access to it.
Right.
And that's how they decided to overcome these deficiencies.
Right.
But now that the bioavailability is 1%,
Okay.
how is it going to overcome those deficiencies?
Right.
Because usually, through a nutrition perspective, when you are deficient for some nutrients, you need to consume 2 to 3 times more of it to overcome the deficiency.
deficiency.
And
Correct.
then you keep consuming regularly. because ICMR, the Indian Council of Medical Research, has
Right.
given certain recommended daily allowance of each nutrient.
Oh,
So each nutrient has certain allowance for the day. So you need to consume 19 mg of iron per day. That's given.
okay.
So if you don't consume that over a period of time, it just builds on and creates deficiency.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, this iodine in salt container,
Yeah.
how important is that?
What happens is, uh, it was back then that our soils lost iodine content into them, and that's how iodine deficiency occurred across the whole country. And uh, that's when the government decided to use salt as a vehicle to administer iodine into people's diet.
Right.
Choosing the right vehicle to administer a certain nutrient is also very important,
Very
because
important.
you need to
Right.
make sure that in what form the nutrient is bioavailable. So
Bioavailable.
iodine is more bioavailable with salt.
Correct.
That's how they decided to use salt to deliver iodine to
And
everyone.
I guess only a certain amount of iodine needs to be absorbed by the body, because salt by itself would, excess salt also is not good actually.
Yes, excess. There's allowance for salt as well. So you have certain amount of salt allowance for the day. If you consume that, if you are within your limits,
Right.
we are good to go.
Okay. So E2V2, I don't know if I'm pronounced it correctly, achieved a GI of 27. That's unheard of in pasta. How did your team pull off something even global brands couldn't do? This is an amazing thing, actually.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
yeah. It wasn't easy though. We came up with a lot of formulations. It did not work, and then we redid it again and again and again until we came up with this final formulation. And now it was the time to decide that, it was in our minds that we want to make pasta diabetic friendly,
Diabetic friendly.
yeah.
Okay.
So people had a lot of reservations about consuming any cereal products,
Okay.
because doctors also usually tell diabetics that don't just consume rice or don't just consume pasta, add some vegetables to it, so you balance the glycemic index of it, you
Okay.
balance the sugar spike of it.
Sugar spike of it.
But we wanted to make it like hassle free for
Absolutely.
anyone to consume it. Like, you're eating the pasta, you don't have to worry about adding vegetables or that
Correct.
balancing the glycemic index of it,
You
basically.
can have pasta just by itself.
Yeah, just by itself. So we made sure that we achieved this glycemic index, but then the time came that we had to test it.
Okay.
So we conducted a trial preclinical, and then
Okay.
post that to confirm it a clinical trial under the guidance of a medical practitioner.
Right.
So what happens is, usually it's a trial of 2 days. So on day one, it's an ideal process for
Right.
carrying out the glycemic index across
Right.
all the foods.
Right.
Day one, you administer 50 grams of glucose, and then you monitor the glucose levels of the participants for
Right.
over 2 hours.
Okay.
That is called as OGTT,
Okay.
oral glucose tolerance test.
Right.
And then on the day two, you administer the food, your test food,
Right.
which contains 50 grams of carbohydrates. So
Okay.
if your 50 grams of carbohydrates comes in 80 grams of food, then you
Right.
administer 80 grams of food, and which will give you 50 grams of carbohydrate.
Right.
And that's
Right.
and then you monitor the glucose levels for 2 hours, and then you do all the mathematics and calculations of the glycemic index, and then that's when we achieved the number of 27.
Wow.
And
Unmatched across the globe.
yes, I can say that, I guess.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So these kinds of changes, these processes that you've done on staple diets and pasta and dal and all that, has something similar been done outside of India?
Uh, I'll guarantee you, dal is one of its kind across the globe, because no one has ever went on reducing the anti-nutrients in a pulse and then adding on the nutrients and making it bioavailable. So
Bioavailable.
yes, dal is unmatched. Pasta, yes, they have been experimenting on that a lot. They have come up with pastas with only lentils or pulses,
Okay.
but no one has ever come up with a pasta which has a millet and a pulse. So a millet and a pulse combination gives you a complete amino acid profile.
Okay.
So see, they say dal chawal is a wholesome meal.
Absolutely.
Why do they say it as a wholesome meal? Because certain amino acids in rice, certain amino acids in dal, together they complete the essential amino acid cycle, and that's why they call it as a complete meal. And
Wow.
that's what we wanted to achieve with our pasta.
Wow.
A millet and a pulse, complete amino acid profile, a wholesome meal.
And this combination is not available outside of India?
No, it's not available.
Wow, great. So you developed this anti-nutrient reduction process. Is there any other information that you'd like to tell our viewers so far? If you've missed out anything,
So BWP as a company, we want to deliver quality products consistently at all the times. That's our major vision. And we also make sure that we practice a lot of good manufacturing practices,
Right.
good lab practices. All the hygiene, all the hazard and critical points are always taken care of. So that as a BWP, we want to make a difference in that, because a lot of food product brands or a lot of supplement brands, I think they do not follow these practices to the utmost. So we want to make a difference with that as well, that we deliver with consistency and we deliver with perfection.
Wow. So your food switch from BWP Biotics, how has the response been in the market?
Okay, yeah. So recently, our products have been launched very recently. So we've been going out, talking to people, giving them the experience of our food in different formats.
Right.
So that's when people first were very hesitant, like, pasta which has ragi to it. But certain people who were into millets, who eat millets a lot,
Right.
because surprisingly, when I started going out and started talking to people, I realized a lot of people are consuming millets, and a lot of them were above 40 years of age.
Oh.
And they were interested in the pasta. They tasted the pasta, and it was really, it was wonderful that, in the first bite they just loved it.
Oh.
And the response is so overwhelming. So, we're just taking it out to the market, and I hope it reaches as many people as it can, and everyone is just, they receive the benefits out of this pasta.
I'm sure they will. Normally, what happens is, people don't like to get out of the comfort zone. They're happy with something, but by word of mouth, once people starts using it, eating it, consuming it, and then they realize how different it is and how beneficial it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll do well.
I hope it creates a revolution in pasta world.
It should. It should. Vasundhara, thank you so much for speaking with Pune Times Mirror. It was a real pleasure to have you with a very insightful conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I also had a really great time over here, and it was really great talking to you, and giving you the insights,
Sure.
and also answering your questions.
Yeah. I'm sure our viewers have loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.